So I came on the invitation of Bibiana Badenes and several dear friends, and this has been a very special conference. For me, I'm attending many conferences, but this is a gathering that you only have every couple of years, in which you have time for cross-fertilization of ideas, of suggestions, new concepts, working applications. So this has been very unusual, not just a scientific conference in which I report my findings and then people clap, but in which you mingle with other people. And they rub shoulders with you, in which you have long lunch breaks, in which participants can come up to you. So this has been really a fruitful exchange meeting for me. And this is what you have every couple of years, and I think that was probably the basic idea, that you invite a couple of people who are working in similar fields to spend several days together with each other and have time for sharing, for exchange in a very nice environment, and in which the basic vision is how can we include a spirited body from the inside. So I think that may have been a common denominator of the different therapists and different approaches, whether it was voice work or hands-on body work or movement therapy or aquatic therapy. It was all related to fostering vitality inside of the body. And I think that probably was the spirit that has been carrying the whole thing. And we had it in the evening dances together, we had it in our meetings, and I think there is a big role in preventative medicine. So my small contribution was in sharing the latest knowledge from the emerging field of fascia research internationally, fascia being the musculoskeletal connective tissues that have been forgotten in musculoskeletal medicine for the last 3 or 4 decades. And now in the last few years, more and more discoveries have been made that this forgotten tissue that's enveloping most of the muscles, connecting all of the organs, plays a major role in force transmission, in mobility, in posture, but also in sensation. And so my role at this conference, my small role, was to share the latest knowledge from that field. And then many people here grabbed my attention and said, this fits to the way how we are working with voice, how we are working in the water, how we are working in Pilates therapy, in yoga, etc. So I learned a lot in terms of the exchange and how that can be applied to different fields. So my gratitude goes to Saul Peterson, a very dear old friend of mine who has already been doing 2 similar conferences, and I was privileged to be participating at the 2nd Body Wisdom Conference, and for many years I've been talking about that. So there was no hesitation in me to come here when Bibiana and Saul invited me to come here, and I can highly recommend that these kind of gatherings where you're not just presenting your findings, but at which you mix and mingle with other people and share your findings and your questions. So a great meeting, particularly since we also had time to move, to dance together and to walk on the beach and strengthen our friendships.